Hey everybody, it's Mr. Fudge with the Balloon Guild. We're going to here to cover some templates and why they're super important. So first of all, this is a template that I'm using for my company. I do entertainment and balloon decor. So this is going to be a sheet that I'm using for my entertainment and decor, so you can kind of see how it comes together. I throw in a photo, I change the name, I adjust the description, I can change the options, and I can change the prices. I have my logo up top, I have a QR code to my website, I have my logo at the bottom, I have some information for contacting, and just some like call to action type stuff. So this is meant to be super simple and easy and duplicatable, so I can make different pages and different pages and different pages. But I always start with this same template. I use a photo frame, so I go to my elements and I go to frames, and that's where I was able to pull in this photo frame here. And then now once I have that, I can go to my uploads and I can actually drop in anything I want to drop into those, double click and move it around or change it as needed. And then I can also detach image to have it come out, and I can delete it and pull it off. So that's kind of what's going on here. And then obviously all these can be changed with the prices. Also you can change colors as well. So I've used my brand colors for this, obviously. So this is super important for marketing, and it really helps for the templates to have these photo frames. Now, occasionally you'll do a unique layout. So let me show you our unique layout here. Let me get here. So this is a unique layout that I did for, specifically I wanted to do balloon decor packages for like restaurants. So think like Chick-fil-A or McDonald's or something of that nature that may have entertainment come out and they may want to have some decor, that kind of thing. So this is what this page specifically is for, but I wanted to create packages. And when I did, I wanted to keep it super simple. So these are the packages I came up with. And this is an essential, a full store impact, and then I have upgrades, which include the arch and then some additional columns and stuff. I also don't really think that I like the organic that much, so I try to really push them to move to the additional hanging topiaries because it gives more volume and visual appeal throughout the event. But I just wanted to have some variety here, which is why I have this. And then I include an extra cost for breakdown, but I include the delivery and the installation with the pricing because I wanted to keep it as low as possible so that I can really hit as many places as possible and theoretically get this as a monthly recurring revenue. So I use this by sending this to managers and GMs and basically saying, hey, would love to share some information about myself. Here are some packages that we're offering for some local companies. We're trying to get some regular work in the area, and I wanted to give you this as an option. So it's just showing them the menu, letting them know stuff exists. I'm not spamming them. I'm not doing anything crazy, but that's what this is about. But the point of this is a unique layout. And so it's important that you create your layouts in such a way that you can edit them quickly. And I typically do that by including a helper page, a building blocks page that has all the pieces that are in my layout down below. And I have built everything from these three shapes. And these three shapes, I can actually edit the color. And I can change the color for them. So when I go here and I click on color, I can click, I don't know, red, and it can change. And then the cool thing about these shapes is they're built to change everything. So I can click change all, and it'll change everything here, but also everything in the entire document that was that color. Now, if you notice, there's a couple things here and here and at the bottom that are not changing. So I kind of like that the top and the bottom aren't changing because those are my brand, but I may want to change these. So what I can do is I can go to back, then I can click on this guy, I can click on the color, click on this color thing, I can figure out what color that is, and I can copy it. Then I can go here, go to the color, and can paste that in there. And these should all be the same color. Let me make sure this works the way I want it to. So theoretically, this should change when I click on it. Let me see if that's going to work the way I want it to. So that's changed back. Now I can click change, go to red, change all. Nope, it didn't change. So this is keeping my titles in my text and my top and bottom consistent, but it's changing everything else. So knowing that, I might actually change this to black, and if I change all, yeah, that'll change all. So I can go back to what I was doing, and then I can click on this guy, and I can click on this, and I can click on red, and then click change all. Now all the stuff that was this teal color are now red. The only issue is here, because if you notice, I have black and teal here together. I have to actually individually highlight all these to get them to change, and then go to change, and then go to red, and then I have to go to the next one, highlight it, and go to red. So that's kind of annoying. So maybe design it in such a way that those are their own pieces, so you can change them all together. Otherwise, you're going to have to go in one at a time to change. So that's something that can really help. When you have the proper building blocks here, you can change colors quick, fast, and efficient. And I build it this way so that I can change them fast. So like if we're doing a red, white, and blue thing, I might change this to blue, might change this to red, and then now I've got this beautiful red, white, and blue, and then I've got a red, white, and blue option here, and then I can adjust the colors obviously as needed like I would normally for these guys. So maybe I want this to now be red. Oh, that's the wrong one. Let's see, click on the blue one, there we go, click on red, and so now we've got this red arrow that pops up. So there's a lot of options here for different ways to change things very, very quickly. And because I have my branding and it kind of clashes with this, I might choose to make this dark blue. I might choose to do some other things here as well. And then you can always hit your undo to go back to what you originally were. And then I'm going to hit undo one more time. You notice the blue down at the bottom turns back teal. And this is how I can do this. Now, instead of editing in here and clicking on every single little ball to change its colors, I actually go in here, and what I'll do is I'll copy and paste this below itself. And then these are what I'm editing, right? So if I want to edit one thing or another, I don't actually need these. Let's pull this down here. I'm going to show you kind of live how I edit these if I want to get different looks. So normally I care more about how everything's placed. I'm going to ungroup everything. It's going to make them individual bubbles. Now this doesn't, so when I highlight everything, it doesn't give me the option to change color. But if I hold down shift and click this line, it now gives me the option because I'm highlighting just my specialty shapes. So I might want to just do these in this color. And I can hold down shift and highlight this guy as well. And then let's do, I'm going to do off-white, which is light gray, because the thing with these is when you make them white and black and you change everything, you can like destroy your outlines of stuff. So I don't want to necessarily do that. So let me line these up. So boom, highlight, shift, click, and then now I can highlight this other color, and I think I'm doing dark gray here. Yep. So that ends up being a quick and easy way to edit these guys. Now, another thing you may do with these is, I always want to copy and paste. So, and I keep them grouped normally. And then I'm only ungrouping when I'm editing. So, slide this over, slide this up, slide me to the other side. So, makes it a little bit smaller. So I'm going to ungroup, and then now I can highlight and change the color, will it let me hide myself down here. I want to do this dark gray. Yeah, I've picked a bad spot for this, so let me adjust that a little bit. Let me just delete this guy, make this a little easier. I'm bouncing my face all around here trying to get this right. Okay, so there we go. Now, I can highlight these guys, and now I can edit in groups and chunks, right? So I can pop back in, and I can do light gray. The reason I do light gray, I'll show you in just a second, but it's basically you don't want to change the black in your document. So that might be kind of a shape we want to do, and then I typically group this, and then I can move that in and out of my document above as needed. So that's kind of what that's for. Now let me show you this kind of issue with the black. So it may or may not show up, but let me change this. So I'm going to edit this to black. I'm going to change all, and then I'm going to make it pink and change all. And you notice the lines here turned pink. It didn't do a lot of stuff otherwise, but it did change those, right? Now let me undo, 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 undo. Now let me change the white to white. Actually, I should probably do, let me do the black to white so I can tell when I change it back. So I'm going to turn that white, change all, and now notice some of these are white and some of these are light gray, but they look white. So that's going to be important here in a second. And then now to really see the difference, let's change all to red. And notice how it changed the entire background red. That's one of the things that can happen, and it's did this weird thing here with my logo. This is why I don't deal with white and black with these particular colors. And so, again, it really depends on what your original document looks like. But I keep white and black for background and text only, or like logos and headers. I do not use white for the actual sculptures and the document itself. So I'm going to go back out to pages. I'm going to look at the full view because I just edited a document that I probably did not want to. So let me go back here. All this is the same. And then what I've done is I pulled in from these other documents. So I'm going to create another page, pop it in here. I can go to my look sheet. I can either pull in this document here, or I can pull in one of my things that I pre-made. So you can see all of these are actually, see if I can make myself smaller. All of these are actually entertainment up top and then decor pieces down below. So if I wanted to add anything to my document, I could click on one of these guys. I could highlight, Control C, go back to my other page, double click on this guy. I'm gonna zoom out so you can see what I'm doing. Click on it, Control V, that pops it into place. And now before I do anything, I can make it the right size because I know they're the right size. And then now I've got this piece also added in. And typically I would do event enhancements. I would name that page so that when I go to download it, it's named correctly the way I want it to. And this is how I would add stuff. Now, if I wanted to change something, I could actually, in this case, I can cut the whole piece out and paste in a new one. Or I could go to my uploads. I could find a photo that I wanted to do. It's like maybe I want to do custom hats, or maybe we're going to give away flags. And these are all things that I can add to this to make it more consistent and make it more uniform as I hand it out to people. So, and then the other thing too I really love about this is this overview page. I like to see, and I'm looking about at my pages to see, do they look like they come from the same company? Do they look like they were designed by the same person? And that's really what I'm looking for. And these two were designed independently, but because of the colors, the headers, and the footers, they look like they're consistent with one another. And I can move this to the back if I wanted to, and that kind of keeps everything together. And I personally always keep a building blocks page because I think it's super important. It also, I really love this like quick edit piece where I can change colors of stuff really quickly. I just think that's a really good way to do that. And then I'm not opposed to using the undo button. But anyway, that is our templates there, and that's what I'm doing for my look sheets and my restaurant entertainment stuff. What I will do is I will simplify this down, and I will make the look sheet and stuff for you guys. And for all the Balloon Guild members, theballoonguild.com will have access to this, so you can just download that, edit this directly. You would change your logo, change your colors, obviously, you change the information in the footer, and then you can adjust your prices and your photos to match your company and what you do. That'll include in my case, the performers page or the featured acts section, and also the balloon decor packages. So I'm going to give you both of these. Obviously, this package may or may not be appropriate for where you're at, and you may or may not want to do these exact things, but you can play around with the building blocks, you can play around with the different things that are here, and you can make these appropriate for your business and hopefully get some business yourself over the next few days. So I challenge you to download the files, make the changes, and save those JPEGs, and then send them out to 20 different places local to you. So pick, in my area, it's like McDonald's, Chick-fil-A, Culver's, Texas Roadhouse. There's a lot of different places that have entertainment and decor. I mean, you can even send it to something like Home Depot or your local grocery store. Any place that you've seen balloons or you've heard of balloons being, you can send to places in your market. A lot of times it's the general manager that makes the decision, and then corporate has to approve. Sometimes the budget comes from advertising, sometimes it comes from marketing, sometimes it comes from other places, but it just depends on what time of year you're catching them, what they've been told by corporate, what they want to do personally, but it's all a timing thing. You just got to keep sending over the course of the year, maybe 4 times a year. Vary up your images here and your offerings so that they can kind of see some different options that they have. And then hopefully if you keep it branded and you keep it consistent, so they start to recognize, oh, header and footer's the same, header and footer's the same, oh, this is such and such a company. Didn't they have a clown that they mentioned? Didn't they have an Easter bunny that they mentioned? And then you can go back to booking some of those more regularly. So, and again, like I said, this is something I'm doing for my company because I want to get $1,000 checks every month from 10 different places. That's an extra 10 grand into my pocket that I can do essentially at my leisure to entertain and book on a regular basis for these guys. I'd much rather prefer regular, consistent monthly work than one-off stuff. So this is what this is about. It's about regular, consistent monthly work. So if you're in the Balloon Guild, probably the page you're watching this on is where the link is for these building blocks and Canva documents. But go ahead and download those, edit those, and please send them out. I'd love to hear how you guys are doing, who you decided to send them to, where you got positive responses, because I'd like to duplicate that in my market as well. But hopefully that works out for you. If you have any questions, as always, we're available on our Facebook page for the Balloon Guild, for the members, and we're also available via chat online and such through the website. So good luck, and I look forward to hearing how you've used your marketing templates for your business.